Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs in video games, and today I'm playing Monster Train. This time on Monster Train, we will be doing the next of the expert challenges. So the next of the expert challenges is Pure Chance. Volatile gauge, predetermined paths, and a random champion. May you be blessed. Alright, so we start with Volatile Gauge, which is very interesting, because costs get randomized, so we like to have more expensive stuff in the deck. We also get to draw 3 each turn, an extra 3, which is huge. One Track Mind, the path you take on the map is chosen automatically. That's annoying. Just annoying. Basically removes some of my strategy. And then a new challenger. Your champion is randomly replaced by one that is not from your primary or allied clan. That's really interesting. I wonder what we'll get. So, Pure Chance. I might win by chance. So, we are going to be playing as the Umbra. The Umbra Melting. This is one of the 2 clan combinations that we have not won yet. And of this clan combination, if we go secondary or exiled Umbra, primary melting. This particular combination we've tried once before. We died in Covenant rank 23 on Battle 5. So not too long ago have we tried this particular combination. Granted, we're getting the Plink here, but not the Primordium. We'll find out what we get instead. Let's go. Ooh, I do like seeing Excavation Eruption here when we know that we've got the Volatile Gauge. Having an expensive card like Excavation Eruption is kind of nice. Getting Molded is interesting, because our starting deck... Ooh, we got Hornbreaker Prince, by the way. How weird. Our starting deck was the Dregs, so getting Molded means that we have a way to reform units, which is good for us, I think. Granted, it's going to cost more than 1, which is annoying. And then the Prismal Dust I usually like. I don't know how much I'm going to like it when we've got Volatile Gauge, because how much extra Ember are we going to have to push around? So we'll see what happens with those. So we just saw that we got the Hornbreaker Prince as the champion. Hornbreaker Prince. You know, some Hornbreaker Prince upgrades could really benefit from having morsels behind him, so maybe that's good. Maybe, maybe not. I think let's upgrade the champion first. So the Brawler doesn't have much attack or health, but that can be changed with morsels. Armor 10, multi-strike 1. Wrathful has a Slay trigger and a Revenge trigger, but already has some stats. Considering stats can be given by morsels, we might go Brawler, especially because any attack stats that we apply get the multi-strike benefit, which is good. The Wrathful, I don't know that I want to do Wrathful. Let's do Brawler. And we're probably going to go down the Brawler path because getting more attack, more multi-strike could really benefit us when we've got the morsels. Alright, now let's see our artifacts. Okay, don't know what to feel about these yet. Vapor Funnel is a pretty decent one overall. Firestone Housing can be very good. It just depends. But it can be very good. And then Golden Vault, I don't think we really want to start with Golden Vault. Yeah, I think Golden Vault is something that you take near the end if you have money and you think you might be taking some fire damage. Okay, let's take Firestone Housing. And then for the next trick, we could get Guild Marker. Guild Marker is really good starting at the beginning. Let's take it. Okay, units get an extra upgrade slot, and the upgrades are cheaper. I think I like that. We just have to get some good units that we want to upgrade. I don't think the dregs count. Well, we could get a unit draft on the first one. The armor 10 does kind of ruin Plink, which is one of the things that we actually can do in our starting deck. Yeah, the armor 10 kind of does ruin Plink. But I think I'm going to turn it on anyway. Okay. Unfortunately, the Excavation Eruption was given a 3 cost, which is not great for us. Still, I think it is what we're going to play. After we play Hornbreaker Prince, maybe? I don't know. I just see no reason to play Hornbreaker Prince first. Let's do the Excavation Eruption first, see what it hits. Oh, it had enough to kill all of them. Never mind. I said that as if it was going to be a choice of some magnitude, and it was not at all. So I could do Prismal Dust on our champion right now. It's probably better than playing a 2 or 3 cost Dreg or Train Steward. I guess so. It also consumes Prismal Dust, which might be good for that to be consumed. Okay, unfortunately that's really the only thing that we have in our deck that can take care of enemies as they go up. Is that one card that we've already played, and we only have one copy of it. Right. So, I guess what we're going to do is play a Plink in the middle, so that we get a morsel. Because playing a Plink at the bottom is pretty useless. Alright, Plink in the middle. We got a Rebel Morsel, not my favorite at all, but we'll still place him up here. Wait a minute, did he cost 1? Did I not notice that the Rebel Morsel cost 1? Oh no, I had Ember Drain from last turn, so I only had 2 to work with. I thought I was going to play the Dreg too. Oh well. What are we going to do against those guys? Those guys are all set to hit my Pyre right now. And I don't know what we're going to do about them, because the Discipled Foot Soldier has a ×2 attack. We can play units this turn. We can't mold anything because nothing has died yet. I think we want to play units, but I don't know where we want to play them. Because if we play them here, right here, no matter which units we play, they all just die before they get to attack. So maybe we play 2 units at the top, just so that they protect the damage shield on our champion. I have no idea how we're going to kill these guys before they hit our Pyre. And they're going to hit our Pyre pretty hard. I guess if we get another Excavation Eruption. But that's just pure chance. Although, that's what we're playing, is pure chance, so let's lean into the pure chance, right? Alright, so which one of these is actually helpful? I guess the 2 Train Stewards, because the 2 Train Stewards will take the most damage to kill. We can't put 2 Train Stewards, we can only put 1 Train Steward. So a Train Steward and a Dreg. Train Steward and a Dreg. Does the Dreg go in front? Yes, because you hit for 2, and then you hit for 5. So the Dreg takes 2 hits. That's good. Okay, well, let's see if we draw the 1 card that can do anything. We did! We drew the 1 card that can do something. How convenient. Let's play it. Wonderful. Granted, we're not killing that one. It's going to hit the Pyre, but it only hits the Pyre for 2, which is not too bad. Is there anything to do? I mean, clearly we're going to play these 2 Plinks. It's just that, what value does playing those 2 Plinks do? Not much. Not much at all. Does playing a Dreg give us any value? It literally just dies. So I think what we do is play Plink, Plink, Dreg, because the dreg just dies, but that gets it out of the deck. So we have a better chance of drawing Excavation Eruption again. We did get a Weight of Contrition because I played that dreg. I guess playing the dreg didn't help us get Excavation Eruption faster. But we did get it, which is good. We can kill that back one. And then that means we could play the Weight of Contrition and put another damage shield on the Hornbreaker Prince. I think the Hornbreaker Prince is going to take you out. I think. It's hard to tell, though, because he didn't actually get more buff. Getting a dreg back doesn't really help much. So we play the Weight of Contrition, and I think we play the Prismal Dust to apply one more, because that essentially does 14 damage to the boss. Okay, let's see what happens next turn. Oh, the Weight of Contrition costs 2. Still, we've got 3 to work with, and we have almost nothing we can do. Playing a dreg from here is worse than playing a molded and getting back a dreg. So I guess we play molded, get back a dreg. And then the dreg has burnout 3. What does that mean for me? If we place it behind the Train Steward, then the Train Steward gets killed in 2 hits. The dreg gets to deal the 14 damage 3 times before it dies. Great. And then we play the Weight of Contrition, and we actually only took 2 damage in the first battle. How about that? Even though we took the armor trial, which was pretty bad for us. Alright, let's see what unit we get. Well, I guess we have to see these first. Taking another X cost card seems a little weird. Granted, Mind Collapse is a good one to put something like a True Stone on. You play it for 0 when you have 0 Ember, and then you get 2 more Ember to spend. So Mind Collapse isn't too bad, even though it is an X cost card, but it's not too great either. We might still take it, but it's not amazing by any stretch. I think we still take it. Alright, so we're taking the Mind Collapse. I don't think we take any of these. As much as I like Dripfall, Dripfall for 2 or 3 cost is pretty bad. Let's skip these. Okay, so all of these cost 1 to play, which is not great when you've got Volatile Gauge. On the other hand, we could take one of them, planning to sacrifice it to whatever we take in the future, which most likely, if I do that, we're taking Wickless Baron. I could take the Wickless Tycoon, because getting a whole bunch of money could be very good for this run, because of the guild marker and the volatile gauge. And then of course taking the Lady of the Reformed is something that might be good just to put in front of our champion. But I think I'd rather take Wickless Baron, because it has the best of these unit essences, I think. With the idea that we're going to sacrifice that Wickless Baron to whatever we take next. Which, forgot that we did not choose which way we went. I'm glad we went to a Merchant of Steel. Alright. I guess let's peek in these two before we look at our unit. Hey, we got the True Stone I was looking for, and an Extreme Stone. Extreme Stone could go on a Plink. True Stone goes on Mind Collapse. I mean, Extreme Stone could also go on Excavation Eruption, but I think I really like it on Plink. I think we're going to take both of those. Immortal Stone. Now, that might change what we take. Immortal Stone. Interesting. Okay. What do we get? They're both 1 cost. Man. Really hoping for something that had 2 cost, you know? The Crucible Collector is probably the best of those two. The Crucible Warden is great if you can have it gain tons and tons of damage shield, but I don't think that's going to happen. We could skip this entirely, but if we skip this entirely... we skip this entirely... We don't get to choose our path, but we don't get many units. Like, we might not even go toward that Umbra banner next time. So our chances of getting more units is pretty low, which means I really should take one of these, and I think it's going to be the Crucible Collector. Do not like that. Do not like that. Alright, True Stone, you're going on Mind Collapse. And Extreme Stone goes on a Plink. Okay, let's do some upgrades. The Immortal Stone, I don't know what we want that on. Do we want it on Wickless Baron? No. We really do want to sacrifice the Wickless Baron to something. We could put an Immortal Stone on the Crucible Collector. It's not terrible. Wick Stone we don't really want on anything except for potentially a Dreg. I think I'd rather have an Immortal Stone on the Crucible Collector than not. Probably. So I guess we're gonna buy that one. Otherwise, do we just purge a card? Maybe we just purge a card. Since we don't get to choose when we go to these Merchants of Steel, I have a hard time not buying everything that we can when we've got Firestone Housing. It's just that we really didn't get a unit that I wanted yet. That's the real problem. I don't think we're keeping Wickless Baron. So maybe we're keeping Crucible Collector? Most likely. I don't know if we want a Strength Stone on it. It's definitely not a Wick Stone. Maybe we should put a Wick Stone on a Dreg. Let's put a Wick Stone on a Dreg. Let's use the rest of our money to purge a Train Steward. Okay, that did not go as well as I was hoping. We did get a lot better, mostly because of the Divine Temple, but I really wish we had a better unit. A better unit for Volatile Gauge, I mean. Volatile Gauge makes our unit choices pretty poor so far. Mark of Invasion, can we take that? I mean, technically, it's really good with Plinks. Let's take it. Okay. We do have a Plink to play at the top. We also have an Excavation Eruption, which, if we play in the middle... If we play the Excavation Eruption in the middle, it is going to do a lot. And it's going to get us a ton of Ember. I like that. So if we have a lot of Ember, we could play a Crucible Collector, we could play a Plink at the top, we could play a Wickless Baron at the top with a Hornbreaker Prince. I don't know if we put the Hornbreaker Prince in front or behind, because we want to play Morsels. But we want the Wickless Baron where things are dying. We could put the Wickless Baron in the center, for that matter. Wickless Baron and Crucible Collector in the center. Preserve all of the morsels for the Hornbreaker Prince at the top. Let's do that. That means the Crucible Collector never gorges, which is okay with me, I think. Anyway, we can't play the Wickless Baron before we play Excavation Eruption, which is very sad. So let's play Excavation Eruption first, I guess. I guess we could play the Excavation Eruption at the top. Sure, let's do it at the top. So now we can play the Wickless Baron in the center. and then play Plink in the center. That kills 2 of those, and gives us 2 morsels. Not extremely happy about the 2 morsels that we got, but I think we still play Hornbreaker Prince at the top after we play a morsel, so we don't get the Ember Drain. And the 2 morsels, and then we still play the Crucible Collector in the center. We're going to put him in front of our guy that gets bigger on Harvest. There we go. I think that was a pretty good first turn. Definitely we used the Mark of Invasion to our benefit. Although we will get a Sinner's Burden because we did that. So the Collector at the top, we got our Mind Collapse, which means after we play the first 2, we could Mind Collapse one of these, like that Reconciler right there. I like that. So let's play the first 4 Ember that we have first. One of them is going to be a Plink at the top. Let's do that first. Plink at the top. We get a Rubble Morsel. Okay, fine. Don't think I'm going to play the Sinner's Burden. Sinner's Burden is just not very good. We could play Prismal Dust, apply 3 damage shield to our champion right now. I don't mind that. Sure, let's do that. So 3 damage shield to our champion. Then we play the Mind Collapse on the Reconciler down here. And then we've got 2 more Ember to spend, which could be a Drag and a Train Steward at the bottom. I don't mind that. I do not like that you have Sweep, because that hurts my morsel plays. And my champion is not strong enough yet to take you out. So things are not going great for the guys going up in the center. But I think that doesn't change what we do now. We play the Drag and the Train Steward. Okay. We did get the Plink. Plink for the top. So the Plink at the top does get us a morsel, but more importantly it makes it so that this one dies. The morsel is not going to be good unless it's a morsel that has more than 4 health. There's only one of those. I'm thinking about what we do with the other Ember that we have, because we're going to have 1 extra Ember. Maybe we just play a Drag at the bottom? Maybe. Okay, let's play this Plink at the top. We know we're going to do that. Oh, it killed that one. Which means another morsel is fine, which means we could play the Plink at the top and get another morsel. Oh, great. Alright, make our champion better. That turn actually worked out so much better than I was expecting it to. I do kind of like that we're using Plink when we're playing with the pure chance. It epitomizes the pure chance concept. So we've got a Mind Collapse at the bottom that's going to kill one of those 2 Reconcilers. And I think what we're going to do before that is play 2 Plinks, hoping to kill one of them with one of the Plinks. Let's do it. Oh, we killed one with a Plink. Can we kill the other with a Plink? 25% chance. Fail. Alright. We do get to play the Sinner's Burden, and then we get to Mind Collapse this one. Okay, the Rubble Morsel goes at the top, of course. We could play the Sinner's Burden or the Train Steward. The Train Steward could go at the bottom to do a little bit more damage to the Steel Slate. Or it could go at the top to protect my damage shield. Oh, and it won't get the Ember Drain. Huh. So if we put it at the top, the Rubble Morsel doesn't benefit my champion, but we have something that's in front of my Hornbreaker Prince to stop it from just dying quickly to the Steel Slate. Granted, it might still die to the steel slate. Wait a minute. You're going to die. And you have 20 health. So we're going to be able to play you in front of my champion. So maybe we should just play the Sinner's Burden, or the Train Steward at the bottom. I think Train Steward at the bottom is the best choice. And where at the bottom? I guess way behind? Sure. We did get a Plink that does a bunch of damage, we did get an Excavation Eruption that does a bunch of damage, and we got a Prismal Dust. So the real question is, how much damage does the Prismal Dust do versus these? A Prismal Dust on the champion gives him 4 damage shield, which means it prevents 5 damage, 4 damage, 5 damage, 4 damage. Prevents 18 damage. Prevents 18 damage, allowing us to do, I guess, something like 60 more damage if we play it for 4. Probably 30 if we play it for 1. Whereas this does 60 damage straight out for 2. And this one does 62 damage played for 1. Okay. So I think we've got a pretty basic concept of what to do. We play the Plink, we play the Excavation Eruption, and we play the Prismal Dust for the final one. We could have played a Train Steward, I realize that, but I think the Prismal Dust is slightly better than the Train Steward, because we are going to use that space up there. I was hoping to put the Crucible Collector. I still can, it's just that... Oh, you only have 20 health. Okay, never mind. We just click end turn instead. Did not realize we had beat the champion down so badly, or beat the boss down so badly. Definitely don't want perils of production. Not when we don't have a consistent source of morsels. Cannibalize can add morsels more consistently, but we have to sacrifice something. We do have an endless unit to sacrifice. We've got dregs currently. It could be something that moves us in the right direction until we get a good morsel card. But I don't think it's a good morsel card when we've got Volatile Gauge. So I think we probably take nothing again. Oh my gosh. Why are they all 0s and 1s? Well, we're not going to take these. No, we're not taking these. Alright, well... We're not making our deck much better. We can duplicate, because we ended up going over here. At least we got the Umbra Banner unit. Let's take the Umbra Banner unit first. Alloyed Construct. It requires morsels. That's the problem. We don't have a good source of morsels. We've got a couple of bad sources of morsels, but we don't have a good source of morsels. So the Alloyed Construct might be inert a lot. On the other hand, it's a pretty good unit if you can feed it morsels. I feel like we almost have to take it, is the thing. Alright, I'm taking this because I feel like we have to. Because otherwise we don't get better choices. Now what? I think we go to the Divine Horde next. Ooh, the first Hell Pact. With 3 X-Cost cards, the Mind Collapse and both Prismal Dusts. That's kind of nice. The Fossilized Fangs is pretty decent with the Gorge effects that we currently have in the deck. But I think we've got to take the first Hell Pact. Now X-Cost cards are a lot better, which means we could duplicate one of them. Definitely thinking about it. Let's go to the Concealed Caverns first. Please give me something good. Okay, so we could get... We could get Petrified Heart, which gives every unit extra health, but means that lifesteal is pointless. There are morsels that give lifesteal, and we do have a unit that theoretically gets lifesteal if it gorges. The 10 extra health is really good on our champion. Technically, I kind of like the Petrified Heart, but let me think about it a little bit more. Because it does make the, I think it's excavation morsels, or excavator morsels or something, that give 3 attack and lifesteal. It does make those pretty useless. And it does mean that your gorge ability is useless, so we're only using you as a 20/20 endless. Still think we take it. Petrified Heart. Alright. Now lifesteal is pointless. Duplicate. Do we duplicate Mind Collapse? We could duplicate the Plink that has the Extreme Stone in it. That would give us morsels more regularly. We could duplicate Excavation Eruption even though we haven't upgraded it. The Mind Collapse is the obvious choice because it's already upgraded once, and we just got the thing that makes X cost cards better. I think we do duplicate this Mind Collapse. Okay, we've got a lot of pack shards, and I don't feel like our deck is great. Empowered offense, or empowering offense, as it were. Okay. I think this is going to be hard, but at least our Plinks do something. At least our Plinks actually do something. So we've got a couple of Plinks we can play. We can Mind Collapse this back one when we run out of other things to do. Let's start with the Plink. Wow, perfect Plink action there. Nice. I didn't play the Wickless Baron first. I might have... Maybe I should have. I knew that there was going to be 15 attack here, though. Still, maybe the Wickless Baron is good at the bottom, because we're going to play lots of Plinks at the bottom? Maybe? Sure. You know what? We're going to do that, even though it might not be the right choice. The Hornbreaker Prince does not go first. Morsel goes first. The Morsels have extra health and Heartless. Actually, did not think about that effect, but that effect is pretty nice. The fact that the Morsels have extra health and Heartless. We could apply Damage Shield 3 already. Or we could hit this one, and then apply Damage Shield 5, because what else are we going to do with our Ember this turn? Right. Alright, Damage Shield 5. Okay. We did get the Alloyed Construct. Technically, we like the Alloyed Construct. Technically. I don't know how much we really like it. The Excavation Eruption, because we didn't get a Plink, is what we're playing at the bottom. And then we probably play the Crucible Collector in front at the bottom. And we probably want to play something at the top for Talos to kill it, because we don't really want to take the damage shield away. Actually, 1 damage shield is not that significant, compared to giving you how much armor? 25 armor? I think we'd rather have a unit die than give you 25 armor. Okay, interesting. Crucible Collector goes at the bottom. Your lifesteal is useless, so we won't do anything with that. Alloyed Construct we could put in the middle, or we could spend on a Prismal Dust. We could spend on a Prismal Dust instead of a Drag. Or we could do both. Let's do the Drag in front, and then a Prismal Dust on our champion for another 6 damage shield. Alright, the champion has damage shield. That's good for us. The Mind Collapse doesn't kill anything. Ooh, the Plink could kill something, perhaps. It's a chance. It's a 50% chance, I think, to kill one. No. Yeah, it's 50% chance. Ooh, we got it. 50% chance. There we go. And then the Mind Collapse could make it so that you will die. Doesn't make it so that you die right now. We'll give you more attack. That's good. And then I think we do want to put something in the center for you to kill. Actually, you won't kill them because of the extra health. How about that? But I think I do want to just put a drag out, because if we put a drag out, it'll burn out, and it won't clog our deck. Okay. So far, we're doing pretty well on this one, actually. I was not confident about doing well on this one, but we're doing well so far. Okay, so let's start with the little Plink, and then do the big Plink. Little Plink first. Alright. Big Plink second. Hey, we hit the big one. Hitting the big one is good, and you dying is fine. So let's... Ooh, another damage shield for our champion. Oh, excellent. And another 3 attack. Hit something. And you will go up for the next turn. Hopefully we draw a Plink to take you out. We could play the Alloyed Construct. It's still a possibility. You are going to get killed by Mind Collapse, no problem, I like that. We did not get a Plink, though. So I'm not sure what we do with Excavation Eruption. I guess we could kill you with the Mind Collapse, and then follow that up with an Excavation Eruption to kill this one. I actually really like that. Okay, so Crucible Collector, you're going at the bottom. We have no sources of morsels, but we could mold one of our units. One of the drags. And we could play a drag. If we played a drag at the top, Talos now doesn't kill it, but we do get the Ember Drain from it. We could play Alloyed Construct at the top? I don't know. That seems foolish. What if we play Alloyed Construct in the middle? Alloyed Construct in the middle with a molded drag in front of it. So this is, we might play morsels for this Alloyed Construct later. That's the concept there. And then Mind Collapse kills you, Excavation Eruption kills the next one, and then we can play another drag, which we can put in the middle. We could even mold another drag. Actually, let's mold another drag. Do we put this one at the bottom? I think we do. Okay. We got Mind Collapse. It doesn't kill the front one. It does not kill the front one unless the Excavation Eruption helps. Huh. We are doing a ton of damage though, so I should be pretty happy about what's happening. Let's play the Excavation Eruption. I don't think any of the units are going to help, so Excavation Eruption. Oh, the Mind Collapse does kill you. How about that? So we get extra Ember to spend somewhere. Somewhere. We could put a Train Steward at the top to take a hit. Or we could play a Plink to deal 2 damage to the boss. I don't know which one of those is better. Let's hit the boss for 2. Alright, and Those guys die, which is fine. Our Endless one, unfortunately, we have to play it next turn if we want to be in front of the champion. To an enemy unit. I was thinking about killing my own drag, but I can't kill my own drag. So I think what we do is we play Plink, Crucible Collector, and Mind Collapse. Hit the boss a bunch. If we had a morsel, which we can't get a morsel, so Plink, put the Crucible Collector at the top for next turn, and then Mind Collapse the boss. I think we're doing just fine this time. Okay, we even drew Mind Collapse again and our good Plink, but we don't get to play them. We just win. Okay, that one went a lot better than I was expecting it to, and I don't really know why, so I don't know how to feel about it. There is a Devourer of Death, which I had a whole lot of fun with one of those times, but I don't know that it's great. Hallowed Halls is pretty interesting. We just don't have tons of units, is the thing. Umbra Stone we could put on our champion, hoping that our champion gets really strong. Let's do that. Oh, Legion of Wax. Yes. Okay. Legion of Wax is exactly what I want. And then, do we want Light of Seraph or Fell's Remorse? Both of them make a lot of sense. Legion of Wax takes up how much space? Takes up 4 space. I think we're going to want a Light of Seraph at some point, so I'm going to get one now. Don't know if it's the right choice, but at least next time I'll have a better knowledge of whether we want another Light of Seraph or a Fell's Remorse. I like that we went towards the Unstable Vortex and another Merchant of Steel and another Banner. How about that? All of those are very nice, actually. Let's beacon the Merchant of Steel. Ooh, a large stone. Oh man, we're gonna put that on something. Let's get our champion upgrade. So the champion going Brawler 2 is kind of what I was thinking, because the Multi-Strike 2 means that we get a whole lot more benefit out of morsels for the champion. So, let's do it. We still don't really have a reliable source of morsels except for the Plinks, which are, you know, I wouldn't call them reliable. I think we skipped these. Yeah, I think we just skipped these. Alright, let's remove 2 more Train Stewards. The Train Stewards are not as bad with the Heartless, honestly, with the 10 extra health. The Petrified Heart, that is. But they're still bad. Large Stone. I think we want that on Legion of Wax. We definitely want that on Legion of Wax. Alright, Legion of Wax gets a large stone. Oh, Legion of Wax is going to be amazing. Do we want it to have a battle stone or a strength stone? I don't know. What I want to do is reroll and maybe put whatever appears here on the Legion of Wax too. Endless. Not what I want on Legion of Wax necessarily, but that does mean that we get to play Legion of Wax over and over again. It's just that we already kind of get to do that because of Molded, which we have 2 of. Maybe we do put it on the Legion of Wax, though. And then I think we put a Strength Stone on it. So we're going to have a Legion of Wax with a large stone, Endless, and Strength Stone? I mean, I'm not upset by that. Sure. Legion of Wax gets Endless. We have so much Endless for some reason. And then a strength stone, or do we hold off for something better? Considering that we don't get to choose whether we go to another Merchant of Steel, I don't know that we hold off. We've got a pretty good chance to go to another one though, because there's one there, and one there. So we've got a really good chance. Maybe I'm going to hold off to do something better than a strength stone on it. Okay, let's hold off. Do we put a strength stone on something else? Like the Crucible Collector or the Alloyed Construct? The Alloyed Construct is a lot better with a strength stone. It's just that, does it do anything yet? It doesn't do much. Okay, fine. And I think we put another Wick Stone on this one drag that we have. Alright. Weird choices, I think, but I like them. I liked my weird choices. Let's move on. Random artifact, non-boss enemy units enter with spikes 4. Spikes 4, how bad is that? It's bad for my champion, but I don't know how many actually get to the champion. I'm going to turn it on. I want the random artifact. It may be that my champion dies in this one. Because I made that choice. The Prismal Dust is a lot worse because I made that choice. We still probably want the Wickless Baron at the bottom. We could put a drag in front of it. The Crucible Collector kind of costs too much. So maybe we play Wickless Baron, drag, Hornbreaker Prince. Don't like it. Don't like it, but I don't see much better that we can do. Do we play the Prismal Dust on the champion? I think we don't. Okay, those first two are pretty bad for us. We definitely play a Plink at the bottom, like a normal Plink at the bottom, I think. We play an upgraded Plink in the center, because we really want to hit those, I think. But normal Plink at the bottom, hope we hit the back one. Oh, we did. Morsel Jeweler gives damage shield. We need to reserve our center for our Legion of Wax. Which means we might put the Alloyed Construct at top and give it a morsel. Put it in front of our champion. Maybe. Let's do this Plink, see what it hits. It hit the back one twice. Interesting. I think that solidifies my plan for the Alloyed Construct. Ooh, except that we used up our Ember. Right. Okay, well, I guess it's our champion that's getting the morsels. Because we used up the Ember. The champion is going to have a hard time killing that one, though. I'm worried about that one. There's the Legion of Wax. We have got to play that. So, Legion of Wax first. Maybe Excavation Eruption first? If it killed two things, I would play it. But if it doesn't kill two things, then we don't get to play it. The Mind Collapses are quite good, because one of them can take this one out. One of them cannot take this one out. So we could gamble with the Excavation Eruption. Here's my thoughts. We can gamble with the Excavation Eruption, play it first, hoping that it kills something. Like if we play it at the bottom, we hope that it hits one of these twice. Or we play it in the center, hope that it hits one of those, or hope that it hits this front one twice. or the back one 4 times. It can only hit 3 times. Either way, I think we do play Excavation Eruption, actually, because we've got 3 Ember to work with, and 3 Ember doesn't greatly improve the Mind Collapse, because the Mind Collapse normally does... Yeah, okay, so let's play the Excavation Eruption first. Hopefully that it hits the back one, hits the back 2, hopefully twice. It hit all of them once. The worst possible outcome. But we now can play Mind Collapse on you, which kills you. That gives us enough Ember to play Legion of Wax. Now we've got 2 choices. We could play the Legion of Wax now, or we could play another Mind Collapse first. Another Mind Collapse could kill this Light Harnesser. We're basically taking damage from this one against the Pyre, which is terrible. But I can't fit a Legion of Wax up there. So we could play a Legion of Wax here, or we could play the Mind Collapse first. The Mind Collapse kills the bottom 2, one of the bottom 2, without the extra Ember, but it only kills this one if we've got the 2 extra Ember. We could put a Dreg at the top to do a little bit more damage to you. Still doesn't seem great. I think we're just going to have to take this one out with the Pyre, and I'm very sad about that, because it's going to hit the Pyre for a lot. Okay, Legion of Wax, you're going in the center. Mind Collapse, you kill one of these. And then we could put this Dreg somewhere. If we put the Dreg at the top, it doesn't do a lot. It just does 19 damage to you, and it prevents some of the damage. It prevents one of the 4 damages from the spikes. It only prevents 4 damage on our champion if we put the Dreg up there. But we do 19 more damage to you, which means we're going to take less damage on the Pyre, I think. Because if we deal 19 more damage to you, that is 47 damage, and then the Pyre hits you only once to kill you instead of twice to kill you. I think that's worth it. Even though it means Ember Drain next turn and all sorts of other bad stuff. Just the Pyre only taking damage from that one once is pretty nice. Okay. Our champion is currently dying at the top. How bad? The Mind Collapse can very cleanly take out the front one. The Excavation Eruption could do something. It's going to be what we play first. Unless we're molding. We're not molding that. We could play the Excavation Eruption at the top. It's very likely to kill this front one. Let's do that. Great. Now our champion survives. We can even put Prismal Dust to apply 5 damage shield on our champion. Kind of like that. 5 damage shield on the champion. I mean, 3 of it is going to be used up this turn. Yeah, 3 of it gets used up this turn. Unless we place another Dreg up here, which we can, after we play Mind Collapse. So Mind Collapse kills you. Now we could play 2 Dregs. We could even reform one of them. I think we do that. We reform one of the Dregs. And then we've got 1 to play another Dreg. So you will only kill this front Dreg if we put this one here. We don't want the Ember Drain next turn. So we place a Dreg that can just die. That means that you are dealing 19 damage, which means our champion only loses 1 damage shield. Very nice. Next, we place a dreg down here so that you get less damage and you eventually get more harvest from that dreg. You're not dying. The Legion of Wax is supposed to die, by the way. It just hasn't. The alloyed construct is pretty weird. We could put the Crucible Collector at the bottom. I mean, it's kind of here to go at the bottom, right? Let's do that. And then we play a Plink in the center. It has a 50% chance to give us a morsel. It did. How about that? A damage shield morsel. Don't really want that to go on the dreg. Either of the dregs. We will put damage shield on our champion. I don't know. I guess a damage shield will go on this dreg. Seems so pointless. Maybe we put a damage shield on this dreg. Okay. Well, it seems like we're doing fine. Especially because the Legion of Wax is going to do a lot next turn. A lot to the boss. The Umbra Stone kind of came way too late. There's nothing to trample over anymore. So what are we doing? What are we doing? We could put an alloyed construct at the top. In front. If it gets morsels, I'll be very, very surprised since we have to slay to get a morsel. But it could just soak up damage. It's good at that. I have no idea what would be valuable here. Certainly these 1 damage plinks, I guess 2 damage plinks, are not very valuable. You can soak up damage at the top from this guy. I guess that's probably the best we can hope for. You're going to burn out no matter what, so we put the alloyed construct here. And then we play Mind Collapse to kill this one. And we've got 2 more Ember, which we could just put into a Mind Collapse, doing 6 more damage. Sure. Okay. You know, I don't feel great, except for the Legion of Wax. The Legion of Wax is our main contender here. The Legion of Wax wins on its own. Like I said, it is the main contender. Legion of Wax with large stones, they're great. Alright, so the Legion of Wax is amazing. We did take 21 damage, which is not great. And what do we get? We get Improved Firebox. 7 extra Ember on the first turn. That's pretty decent. Cannibalize again. The Crucible Extension I'm considering. I don't know if I want the engine upgrade. Crucible Extension I'm considering because we could make one floor really big. Sure. Crucible Extension it is. Subsuming Blade. Wickless Recruitment is pointless. Sacred Wicks is pointless. Subsuming Blade. Do we want another piercing spell? One that does only a bit of damage. Kind of really like my piercing spells right now, so maybe the answer is yes. But I feel like we've got a deck and we're not making amazing choices with it. Alright, so we went this way, which is a weird way to go. Let's see if we can afford a trinket. We can afford any one of the trinkets because of Guild Marker, I forgot. So Tomb units, we don't have any. Resin Block. Resin Block applies to the Endless units, doesn't it? And Lightstone Casing, we could have both casings, Firestone and Lightstone. I think we take a resin block. And then we leave, because we don't have any more money. Extreme Stone... Extreme Stone goes on the new card that we just got, the Subsuming Blade. We kind of also want it on a Plink, is the thing. We put it on Subsuming Blade. We could actually put a Seek Stone, because we do have a good thing for a Seek Stone. We've got the Crucible extension. But I don't know that we care about the extra space immediately, or that much. So I don't think we get it. This might be where we do an Engage Pact. Let's look at how many more temples we've got. We've got several more temples. 2 more temples. Do we sacrifice now? Because I would be happy to sacrifice. We could sacrifice... Ooh, we could sacrifice a Dreg to the Legion of Wax, give it burnout? Wait a minute, is that a good idea? No, having it have burnout is bad. Okay. But we could sacrifice the Wickless Baron to something. I don't know that I care to do that yet. Let's do it later. Alright, go into the next one. I don't even know. I don't even know what we're doing. Heaven's Seal seems pretty bad for the deck that we have. So let's not turn that on. We have a lot of Ember. We can play the Legion of Wax. Do we want the Legion of Wax at the bottom? I think we do. Because it has Endless, so we could play it at the bottom and the center, basically. I like it. We just have to not play anything else in the center. Which is annoying, but fine, I think. Annoying, but fine. Alright, Legion of Wax, you go at the bottom. Let's do the normal Plink first. Normal Plink first. Great, we got a morsel. Now we do the better Plink, because more morsels is good. More morsels is good. Alright, and you know, we got the worst morsels. We got 2 Rebel morsels. But I was thinking about, do we put one for the Legion of Wax, or do we put both for the Hornbreaker Prince? I think we put both for the Hornbreaker Prince. So, Hornbreaker Prince, go at the top. You are getting 2 morsels. And we'll put a Wickless Baron behind you. I think. Because I'd rather have the Wickless Baron up here behind than the Crucible Collector behind. Sure. And then we play Prismal Dust on the champion. And then Mind Collapse on you just to do some damage. Okay. I think that's a pretty good start to the match. I like that we've killed the Collector every time, too. Okay, so the Alloyed Construct we're just not playing, basically. We do want to play a Subsuming Blade on something. Something that it kills, which are one of these 2 units. The same units that Excavation Eruption might kill. Right. Do we want to put an Umbra Stone on our champion for 3? Maybe, maybe not, actually. Okay, let's start with the Subsuming Blade on you. And then Excavation Eruption? And then we can play a Prismal Dust on our champion to give it 7 more damage shield. Okay, our champion has damage shield. Does it kill this one? You know, it doesn't, does it? 8 times 3 plus... I mean, you're going to have a little bit more. We're essentially doing 32 damage. Haha. And we played most of our our good spells. We've got Mind Collapse still. Hopefully we draw the Mind Collapse, because I did not consider that our champion didn't have the attack to kill the unit up there. We got a drag, which we could use instead to make sure that he dies. I don't mind that. And we've got Crucible Extension. You are not dying fast enough. You're supposed to die, by the way. The Legion of Wax. I don't understand why the Legion of Wax doesn't die. I guess I keep killing the units that deal damage, but still. It's supposed to take more damage. Okay, well the plinks are pretty bad. I think we are going to play the Crucible Extension at the top. And we're going to play a drag. Are we going to put it in front? I kind of don't want to because of the hope that we can get morsels. But considering we only have one card that gets us morsels, this one, the other plinks don't really do anything. Maybe we don't. So if we put this in front, it might be fine. Sure. We're going to call it fine that we put this one in front. Don't like the Ember Drain, though. We got a Mind Collapse. We do like those. Hey, the Legion of Wax is dying this turn. Finally. Which means we don't want to Mind Collapse this one so that it dies. Because we actually do want it to die. We could Mind Collapse this one. I still want to Mind Collapse this one. We don't get to, do we? 12. Actually, if we Mind Collapse this one, everybody else gets 2 attack. So that would be enough. So we could actually Mind Collapse that one. What do we do with the rest of our Ember? Nothing has died for Molded. We could add a drag at the top. Seems pointless. We could add a Crucible Collector at the top. I don't know what we're doing with our Ember. You know, let's play a Plink in the middle. It did not happen to hit that one twice. How unfortunate. And expected. Let's put a Crucible Collector at the top. Because you've got Burnout, we're going to put the Crucible Collector behind. Even though it has Endless. And then the Mind Collapse happens. The Mind Collapse, we really do want to kill that one. We also do want to kill this one. I guess next turn we're probably going to get another Mind Collapse, a Subsuming Blade, or an Excavation Eruption. Oh man, which one do we do? I want to kill many of them is the thing. I think we kill this one. And now we've got more Ember to spend, again. Again, we have more Ember to spend. I guess we could put a drag at the bottom, behind the Legion of Wax. Don't mind that. We don't have another drag to get back with Molded. So sure, let's do that. It's the next ones that are heading up that are kind of a problem, because there's just too many of them. Oh, the Legion of Wax costs 3. We can't play it. And we're not killing these. Oh, how very unfortunate. We really needed to play the Legion of Wax this turn, but we got the Ember Drain. We could play another Crucible Extension at the top. It's probably the best we can do for this turn. And then take a bunch of damage on the Pyre. Like a bunch of damage on the Pyre. Ouch. Oh, that hurt bad. And If we don't do something this turn, it happens again. So the Excavation Eruption we kind of want to play first because it gives us more Ember if it kills this one. Let's do it. Okay. Now the Subsuming Blade, it gets better if we slay. It gets better if we slay with the Subsuming Blade. So do we play a Plink first? I guess we play a Plink first. So Plink first, Subsuming Blade, you. You still don't die? Oh my gosh. We never made my champion very good. I guess we've got to play the Mind Collapse here, so that you die. The Legion of Wax is doing a ton of damage, but it's not really enough unless we draw our Legion of Wax, which we can't, right? Oh, we can. It's in our discard pile. Or our draw pile, I mean. We play the Legion of Wax next turn, we win. If we don't, we might not win. Let's find out. We got the Legion of Wax. How absurd. Pure chance, everyone. This is pure chance. It says it right there. Oh my gosh. All right. Don't have to be good, just have to be lucky. So Prism Retrieval is an X-Cost card, which is really nice with the first Help Pact. Draw a unit, apply that to it? That's pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Let's do it. So we still don't want Wickless Recruitment. A Fatal Melting gets really nice once our Legion of Wax is actually dying consistently, but it's not very nice until then. Mortal Entrapment is not going to cost 3, and it does apply Dazed 3, which is rather nice. I think we've got to take Mortal Entrapment. And we ended up going this way, which is not the Merchant of Steel, so we've got 2 more chances to go to a Merchant of Steel. I do like getting the Pyre Help, have to be honest. Ooh, Commemorative Spike. There's one real downside to Commemorative Spike, which is that if there's a Morsel Miner in the center, we can't fit the Legion of Wax in the center. But maybe we put the Legion of Wax at the top. Like, what is our champion really doing? If our real champion is the Legion of Wax, then why not put it at the bottom and the top, put the champion in the center, with a Morsel Miner? The Forever Flame is nice, it gets us a lot of Ember, honestly. But I think we take the Commemorative Spike. And then, what do we duplicate? We don't duplicate Legion of Wax, that would be silly. We could duplicate the card that we just got, the Prism Retrieval. Because that gets our minions out faster. I don't know what we're doing with the Alloyed Construct anymore, to be honest. I guess we could put it in the center with the champion. It's just that the champion is kind of pointless at some point. The Excavation Interruption is nice, the Mind Collapses are nice, but I think I want Prism Retrieval so that we get our units faster. Let's do it. Okay. Extreme Stone definitely goes on a Plink. So we've got 2 Plinks that can do something. Do we engage Pact yet? I don't know. The main reason why I'm having trouble with the Engage Pact is I don't know who I'm sacrificing to. I certainly don't care about the Legion of Wax getting the Wickless Baron effect, the Harvest effect. The Harvest effect probably works best on the Alloyed Construct. It's just that the Alloyed Construct does not have a consistent source of fuel, which has been the problem with it the whole time. I don't think we sacrifice yet, because I still honestly don't know what we sacrifice. So we don't. Purge Stone, we're not going to take. Even though I want to purge cards, I don't think we purge them with Purge Stone. Okay, Argus Darkness Incarnate. Blinding and Looming. The Blinding triggers on Rally. Okay, that's not too bad. And the Looming is always annoying, we just have to be careful where we place spells. Okay, Legion of Wax, you're going at the bottom. You go in front, we actually want you to die. And to eat this. But we want you to get all the damage. Actually, we're probably going to play a Plink. Right, we are going to play the Plink. You still get the same amount of damage when we play the Plink. The Hornbreaker Print is going to go in the center. So, let's Plink. Hornbreaker Print is going in the center. You're going to be dazed. That's fine. You can be dazed one turn. And then you're getting 2 morsels. A Rubble Morsel and a Magma Morsel. And because you got morsels this time, we're probably going to keep you around, so we're going to put Prismal Dust on you. Should we put an Umbra Stone on you first? Yes, I think so. With a ×3, how much does an Umbra Stone really do? I don't know. Let's still do it. And Prismal Dust to have 9 damage shield. Alright. We drew another Plink. But if we play the Plink at the bottom, it makes our spells cost more. Which is really unfortunate, actually. So maybe we don't play it. And instead we just play Prismal Dust for 7 more damage shield. And that's it. Okay, fine. Lots of damage shield on our champion. Did we draw a Plink? We did draw a Plink. We also drew Excavation Eruption. I think we play Excavation Eruption in the center first, because if it kills this back one, it's very good for us. Great. Now, we can play a Plink at the bottom, get ourselves a Morsel, a Magma Morsel. You see, I'm kind of torn whether we put the Magma Morsel in the Legion of Wax or not, because the ones he summons afterward get the effect too, get the +6 attack. But I think no, I think we play it on our champion. And then we do have a Prism Retrieval, which could get a unit. There are 6 available, because all of the dregs count. It's unfortunate that all of the dregs count. I guess we could use one of the dregs in the center right now, actually. Let's do that. And then Prism Retrieval. Prism Retrieval somewhere where there's not these guys. I have a question. Can you play Prism Retrieval in your Pyre room? You can. So if there are things that have incant on every floor that we don't like, we can always just use the pyre room. Okay, that's good to know. And then we got another drag, which I just realized this drag isn't dying. I forgot about the petrified heart. So this magma morsel is not going to our unit that we wanted it to. How sad. Well, let's play the Mind Collapse. And then, where are we putting these dregs? I guess we could put this one behind, in the middle. Sure. And Crucible Extension in the middle is probably best, even though you get the armor 10. You still die, so it doesn't matter. Can't play spells there. Good to know. We don't have great stuff. Yeah, this is unfortunate. We could Subsuming Blade our own guy. I don't see why we would do that. It's just an option that we have. It's not necessarily a good option. Okay, I guess all we do is play Excavation Eruption, Prism Retrieval, and the Mind Collapses. We got another dreg. Okay, we're gonna put that one here. And do the Mind Collapses on these guys. I guess we really want the front one to die, so we're going to make sure that it dies. It doesn't die this turn, but it will die next turn. And if we're lucky, we get a good plink that can kill it. Well, sad. We've got to play the Legion of Wax. We saw what happened last time when we didn't play Legion of Wax when we needed to. So we're playing it right now. Gives us an Ember Drain for next turn. Makes it so that we don't get to play anything this turn. But you know, the Legion of Wax is very important to our plan. Okay, can't play spells at the top, that's okay. We don't want to. We could play a Plink in the center. That would most likely kill that one. We want to play the Wickless Baron in the center. And that's all of our Ember. We only have 2 Ember. So, Wickless Baron, Plink, and then play the Rebel Morsel. So you're going to make it to the top so far, and I really don't like that. We need a spell that can deal you lots of damage, because this one only does 45 right now. It needs to die before it does more. And our champion, you know, our champion does some damage, but it's not really enough. We did get a spell that does damage. We've got a couple of them. And I'm kind of thinking we have to spend all of them at the top. Because we really need you to die. And the best we can do to get you to die is to play our spells. So, this one unfortunately doesn't kill anything. And then this one goes up here. We actually want this one in front. And then we play the Mind Collapse, and then you die. Alright. So I think we're fine now. I don't know how well we're going to do against Archus, but we've seen our Legion of Wax do amazing things. It's just that the Legion of Wax needs to be upgraded more, honestly. We drew Excavation Eruption, and we drew a Mind Collapse. Together, those do not kill this guy, but they sure get close. 909 damage to the boss from this floor. That's pretty good. And then we could put a Crucible Collector here. I like that. Crucible Collector here. And then Excavation Eruption and Mind Collapse. I guess since you're already dying, there's no reason not to do the Mind Collapse here. So now the Legion of Wax has to take out the boss. Okay. You know, we're winning, because the Legion of Wax at the top does enough damage. So we don't really need to do anything, but we're going to play the Plank and the Subsuming Blade. And then we will end turn and win at the top. The extreme damage shield on my champion is doing a lot. It's just that our champion doesn't get stronger, because we don't get enough morsels. Okay, click end turn, unless we can win with the Subsuming Blade. Ooh, interesting. We cannot. There's no way. Alright, click end turn. Alright, how do I feel about the deck? I feel weird about the deck. Forever Consumed is another X cost card. The Wretch. The Wretch might be good, because we get so few morsels. Oh my. Normally I don't think of Wretch as a very good card, but actually I think we need it in this deck, because it will get back the morsel miners. Okay, let's do it. And then I think we need a Fell's Remorse more than a Light of Seraph. So, let's take it. We did go to the Merchant of Steel. We are going to spend money there. First, let's upgrade our champion. Actually, there's no reason not to peek in here. A Speedstone. Definitely not what we want on our Legion of Wax. So, that's unfortunate. We also don't want a Heartstone on it, because we want it to die. Let's get the Pyre Remains. Let's go to the Concealed Caverns. We could get money. You know, money is pretty good. Am I willing to lose 25 Pyre health for money? Yes. Okay. Money is good because of the guild marker. Next, let's get the Divine Horde artifact. Sketches of Salvation. How weird. Do we want that? We kind of don't. I don't think we want that this time. It's very interesting, though. But I don't think we want it. And Capricious Reflection, it is really late for you, so I guess Faulty Loader it is. Faulty Loader is not bad. Do we get Reaper? Or Brawler? Brawler has Multi-Strike 4, which is amazing if we get to upgrade him with morsels. Which I guess we do. Yeah, I think we get to, so let's do it. Our champion hasn't been great yet, but I'm looking forward to it being good. I think we take another Wickstone, put it on this Dreg. This Dreg gets all the Wickstones. 3 Wickstone Dreg. And then we re-roll to get something better. No! No, that's not what we want. Alright. Do we put a Battlestone on our Legion of Wax instead? I mean, Battlestone helps it a lot. And I don't have a good chance of seeing another Merchant of Steel, so I think we do it. Alright. I really don't care to have Endless on anything else that we have in our deck. A Heartstone. Am I doing anything with the Alloyed Construct? Not really. The Wickless Baron we're actually using, which is weird because I was thinking about sacrificing it to something else. We could put the Heartstone on the Crucible Collector. We basically use this one to put in front of stuff, so sure. Why not? Heartstone on an endless unit. Let's purge cards. So I really want to purge this train steward. And I think I'm thinking about purging again. But I'd really rather do that next time when we know what we get in our Merchant of Trinkets and we know whether we're going towards the Unstable Vortex. We still have a good amount of trash in the deck, but let's go. Mark of Invasion. I don't think we want the Mark of Invasion. The Wiltwings hurt our units. But at the same time... Oh, I don't know. I don't think we want it. I do want the 400 gold. That could get me a lot. We could put the Mark of Invasion... It'll deal damage to the Pyre is the thing. I really want to. You can tell that I really want to push this button. But should I? The problem is they have 3 health. They don't have 1 health. So the plinks that only do 1 damage don't do much. I'm going to turn it on. Deals damage to the Pyre. Okay, we did get a Legion of Wax. We got one of the plinks that can kill these big units. We also got Wretch in the opening hand, which is kind of pointless. Okay, so where are we going to use this plank? It's probably going to be at the top. Do we put the Legion of Wax at the top? I mean, these guys are dazed. Do we put the Legion of Wax at the top? We want it to be at the top as well as the bottom. But in theory, it gets more damage being at the bottom. You know, we've got a lot of good choices. I think we plink at the top first. Plink at the top first. Magma Morsel and Rubble Morsel. Okay. I think we do want our Legion of Wax at the bottom. So let's put it at the bottom. We want the Hornbreaker Prince in the center. And we want to put dregs in front of it. If we put... Let's think about what order we want these things in. So, the dregs. If we put dregs in front, we can't put magma morsels and rubble morsels behind. But the morsels don't survive unless we kill these guys, which we don't get to. The Hornbreaker Prince will kill all of them, dealing 20 damage to the front units. 5 at a time. So they're basically going to do 20 damage to the front unit, and then 20 damage again to the front unit. So if the front unit is a rubble morsel, then it takes 15 of the damage, and then 5 goes to the next one. So I think what we want is... a dreg in front, the dreg takes 15 damage, and then there's another 25 coming, because we're going to put the Hornbreaker Prince. Hornbreaker Prince could go in the back, so we can just do that now. So right now, the Morsel Miner is dying, and we get damage on our Hornbreaker Prince. But if we put one morsel, like the Rubble Morsel right here, or another drag, and keep the morsels, I'd rather have the morsels in the deck than the drags in the deck. So this dreg could go here. Now you get to eat the morsel miner. And we could play the Crucible Collector at the top. Or we play Prism Retrieval. Get something else to put at the top. If we got Alloyed Construct, it'd be amazing to put at the top. If we don't get that, most other things are not amazing to put at the top. I think we do play Prism Retrieval next. So Prism Retrieval, get me a unit. You got a Wickless Baron. You know? It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. Let's put it at the top. We put you at the top, but we put a Morsel up there first. Morsel first, then Wickless Baron, then Magma Morsel. Okay, you know, it's kind of a weird thing to do at the top, but there we go. We definitely want to make room at the top to put our Legion of Wax later. So when we get our thing that expands a place, we expand the top. The Alloyed Construct, we've already used the morsels, so you're pointless now. You could go in the center just to take damage instead of my Hornbreaker Prince, I guess. What do we do? We've got dregs in there to be molded. This plink is one of the bad plinks. We could use Mortal Entrapment on this one, which would mean he would be even more dazed. Or we could just hit this one with it so that it has less health. I don't know what we're doing with the Mortal Entrapment. We could use it to kill this Purifier. Actually, that might be the best. By the way, why didn't you add a self-mutilation? The daze doesn't prevent self-mutilations. Why didn't you add a self-mutilation? I'm very confused. I didn't already play it, did I? The Prism Retrieval only gets a dreg, right? A dreg or Crucible Collector. We could mold a dreg. Really want to do more damage to the guys in the center. Because I think they're the worst, although the next ones down are really bad too. We just don't deal with units going up the train very well. I think we are going to have to play Mortal Entrapment on this one. So let's start there. Oh, it only attacks a unit that's been hit. Okay, so I guess we could play the plink to hit a unit. If we're hitting a unit, or we could just hit this one. You know, hitting that one's not bad either. But we could play a plink to hit a unit. So that we could play Mortal Entrapment on it. I don't know. I think I'd rather play this dreg in the center. Or at the top, but probably not at the top because I don't want Ember Drain next turn. So let's play the dreg in the center. Do we put it behind our champion? That's the next question. Put it in front of the champion. Dreg in the center in front of the champion. Now we do more damage to you. Now we Mortal Entrapment you. And then we Prism Retrieval, which gets back a dreg, or gets a dreg, which we also play in the center, so that it barely does not kill you. That's fine. Barely not killing you is good for plinks. And we do want to protect our champion the same amount, and do more damage in the center. Okay, well, I don't know. This is going pretty weird. We got a Subsuming Blade for 1. I like that. we got a good plank and a bad plank. And an excavation eruption. A lot of these things are good. Excavation eruption is pretty nice, but a bad plank at the top could be amazing. It's just that excavation eruption at the top gives us more ember. It gives us 4 more ember. Let's do that. Okay, so now we've got a lot more ember. I said we wanted the Crucible extension at the top so we could play Legion of Wax up there later, so let's do that. We want a Subsuming Blade on probably one of the Purifiers so that we stop taking that damage, although the Plinks might kill them. We should start with a Plink. Do the Plink in the center. Oh, the Plink did not hit it at all. Okay. So we're going to do a Subsuming Blade and a Mind Collapse on the Purifiers. Which means we play a Self-Mutilation, we play Subsuming Blade, we play Mind Collapse. That allows us to play this Plink, which we're going to do in the center, or we could just do Prismal Dust to apply Damage Shield. You know, maybe we want you to have Damage Shield. Because if we're putting a Legion of Wax in front of you, you will do very well with Damage Shield. Let's do that. We're relying on something other than our champion. I'm really worried about this Gilded Wings, though. That Gilded Wings currently kills our pyre, and we need something to stop that from happening. Like right now. And I don't know that we're going to get it. A Mortal Entrapment. Mortal Entrapment helps. Not quite enough, but it helps. It helps a little bit. The Dazed 3 is very good. The Molded getting back a drag, does a fair amount of damage at the top. Let's consider that one. So a Molded and Mortal Entrapment at the top. So Molded gets back a drag. The big one, that one. So that means we do more damage up here. We are doing Mortal Entrapment on you, so that you don't hit our pyre as much. And then we do a Mind Collapse on this one, because not getting those Weights of Contrition is good. We could do it on this one. Both options are pretty solid. Because a Plink could kill you later. Let's kill this one. The next problem is this one, obviously. We've got problems. A fair amount of them, actually. Alright, do we want an Umbra Stone on something? Actually, an Umbra Stone on you is not too bad. Okay. We're taking damage on our pyre right here. Hopefully not too much damage, but I think it's going to be 10 damage. Oops. Sorry, I meant 30 damage, and I think we took 40. And we've got another problem at the top. Consistent problems at the top. Let's do a Plink in the center. What are we doing at the top, though? We're only doing 5 damage to you. You're gonna kill my pyre unless we do Plinks at the top, basically. So I think we don't have a choice. I think we have to do this Plink at the top. And we have to do this Crucible Collector at the top to do another 20 damage. And then you still kill the pyre, and my normal Plinks don't help. Because they only do 1 damage. So I think we die here. Okay, sad. I think we just died. I'd love to see if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Yep, we died. Alright. Well, I liked that deck to some extent, but it had problems. It definitely had problems. We did not win, which means the Umbra Melting continued to be probably my worst clan combination, although Hellhorn Stygian are right up there with them. I got really lucky earlier in this run. I would have died on battle 4 or 5 if I didn't get really lucky, and I did get really lucky. So getting to battle 7 and dying was lucky, as it turns out. But still, hopefully we can do better next time and actually win a run with one of these last 2 clan combinations. Since this was a loss, Umbra Melting remains one of my 2 clan combinations which I haven't earned a divine win. On the right, I am featuring Gilded Wing, which is, in my opinion, the most dangerous normal enemy, which is interesting because it has no special abilities, it just has a lot of health and a medium attack, and that's all it needs. The self-made Harpy almost killed me. My only out was to draw my Legion of Wax, and luckily I did. On the left, Alloyed Construct reaches my 10 battle threshold. I had this minion in 5 battles. I honestly intended to use it, and it never attacked even once. The drag becomes my 9th card to reach my 100 battle threshold, where I stop counting. It is also the 4th clan-specific starter card, of 12, to reach this height. For artifacts, Guild Marker was huge this run, since I got it at the very beginning. It allowed me to spend my money rather freely, giving me plenty of upgrades. The first Hell Pact was an amazing artifact this run. It significantly improved my several X-Cost cards to great effect. For more stats, visit my tracking sheet, link in the video description. New episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.